Good evening and welcome to Netzach Yisrael's daily Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Tonight we're going to begin Siman Kufiyud Tes, Seder Leil Pesach, the Seder of the night of Pesach, avoided by Seifim. It contains 12 Seifim. Tonight we're going to start from Seif Hey, go through Seif Aleph through to Seif Hey. Seif Aleph. Afal Pishu Kol Shabbos B'Yom Tov Yichayim Lekadosh V'Lechem Mevoid Yoim Lo Yisif Mechoil Ala Kodesh. Even though on every regular Shabbos and Yom Tov one is able to make Kiddush and begin eating while it's still day, that means before Shabbos Yom Tov has technically come in, because one is able to add on from Chol, from the regular weekday onto Kodesh. On Pesach on Pesach that isn't so. Because the mitzvah of eating matzah specifically applies on the night of Pesach. K'mo Korban Pesach, just like eating a Korban Pesach. Because it says in the Pasuk, and you shall eat the meat on this night. Likewise, the mitzvah of drinking the 4 cups of wine specifically applies at night. And since the kos, the drinking the cup of Kiddush, is one of the 4 cups, therefore one cannot make Kiddush on Seder night until it's certainly night time. One should wear a kittel, a chaluk glove, and a long white shirt, and sit on one's seat in order to run the Seder, the proceedings. One should distribute to the young children almonds, nuts, etc., in order that they should see that there's something different about tonight and they should ask questions. And this should promote them to ask questions also on the matzah mara of why we're leaning. But a young boy or girl that has arrived at the age of chinuch, so from about 5 and onwards, that means that they understand about the sanctity of Yom Tov. And they understand what we're relating over from the story of the Exodus. We also give them a cup that they should drink from. We customary pour 1 cup more than the people who are seated at the table, and we call that the cup of Eliyahu the prophet. Seif base. One's right-hand man or one's servants or someone else from his household should pour the cups for him. Likewise, every time they pour, other people should pour for him and not him himself, in order to demonstrate that we are reliving the freedom. And one should advise the people in his house that they should drink from every cup, at least the majority of the cup in one go. When we kos revi, and from the 4th cup, which one is going to follow with the after brocha ala gefen, one should drink a revius in one go. One should have intent for all of the mitzvahs, so 4 cups and the relating of Yitzias Mitzrayim, as well as eating matzah mara. Because women are also obligated to observe these mitzvahs. Just with leaning, some have the minhag not to lean, some women. One should say Kiddush like is written, like is printed in the Haggadah. One should drink while leaning to the left. And ideally, it is good if one can do like the view of the poskim, of the authorities, that one should drink a whole cup for all 4 cups. Seif Gimel. So after Kadesh, after that comes the Orchatz. One should wash his hands and not make a bracha on them, and dry them. One should cut from the karpas for oneself and for everyone at the Seder a piece less than a kazayis, and dip it into salt water, and make the bracha b'ri priyadama. When Mekavlin lifted a bracha zugam samara, one should have an intention to exempt with this bracha as well the bracha of Mara, which one it doesn't say Hadama beforehand. One eats this also while leaning to the left. Achakach noitelas a matzah and tais v'chol kol shnei chalakim, and now into yachatz, we take the middle matzah, we break it into two pieces. And one places the larger piece next to his seat as afikomen. But they're going to karchem a mappa, and we customary wrap it in a napkin, and we place it in a afikomen bag. Zeichen amashakosov, corresponding to what that which it's written in the pasuk mishareisam sororois pesimleisam. Their kneading trough being bound up in their cloths. There are those that place it also on their shoulder, to commemorate the coming out of Mitzrayim when the Jewish people had the matzah on their shoulders. And because the afikomen is in place of the actual korban pesach, therefore it is a prestigious piece of matzah, and therefore that's the reason why it should be the larger piece of the two. And the smaller piece one should put back in the ka'ara in its place, in between the other two. One reveals the matzahs a little bit. One lifts up the ka'ara, and one says, now starting Magid, the next stage, this is the bread of affliction which our fathers ate. Until the end of that paragraph, until next, in the coming year, we should be free men. Those who begin, those who say this is like the bread, should not say the word the, which means that, because it's a bit of a conflict. Now we're ready to pour the second cup. And the child asks the Manishtana the four questions about why is Seder night different. If there is the young child, then the different son should ask his daughter, or his friend, or his wife. And after that, we say, the paragraph, we were slaves. And it is correct to explain to one's household the words of the Haggadah in their language that they understand. And if one doesn't understand Lashon HaKodesh Hebrew oneself, we should say it from the Haggadah, Shehu in Pirush Ashkenaz, that comes with in Ashkenaz translation, which was the vernacular. And after every section, one should translate it into one's language. And especially the section, Rabbi Gamliel used to say which the three things, Pesach, Matzah, Maror, that one needs to understand what they're about. That one needs to understand the reason behind Pesach, Matzah, and Maror. That one, all the more so, that needs to be said in the vernacular. When one gets to the paragraph of Vihisha Amda, and that is what stood up against us, what stood up for us, one should cover the matzahs, in order that the bread shouldn't feel ashamed, so to speak, that we're abandoning it while taking up the cup. But in later in the Sakosis be a day, and we take the cup of wine in our hands, and we say Vihisha Amda ad miyadam until the end of the paragraph. And then one puts the cup down and reveals the matzahs again. When one gets to matzah in Rabbi Gamliel, one takes that broken piece of matzah in the middle, and he shows it to his household, and he says, this is the matzah. Likewise, with this maror, one should lift up the maror. However, when one gets to the next paragraph, the korban pesach which our fathers used to eat, one does not raise the shank bone, which is a zeicha, which is commemorative of the korban pesach, because it shouldn't look that one is treating the bone as a korban itself. When one gets to the end of Magid, therefore we need to thank Hashem and praise Hashem. We cover the matzahs again. Everyone takes the cup in their hands, and they raise it until one completes that bracha. Once there's a bracha by Pri Hagefen, smile, and we drink it again while leaning to the left. Seif Hey. Achakach works in your day, and Mavachan until down. One finishes Magid, one gets to Rochta, one washes one's hands, and this time one does say a bracha al Tilasidayim, or Mavarach Amaitzi al Matzah, so one out to Moitzi Matzah, one says Amaitzi on the Matzahs. Well, if you should be Yom Tov Tzarech Letzah Shtikah Kor Shalemis, and because on Yom Tov one needs to make Hamaitzi on 2 full loaves, that is Lechem Mishnah, whereas the mitzvah of Achilas Matzah itself is only from the little broken piece in the middle. The reason for that is because matzah is called the bread of affliction, or a poor man's bread. And it is the way of a poor person to only eat a little piece. Therefore, when one says the first bracha, one holds the 2 complete matzahs in one's hand, along with that small piece in the middle. One says that bracha. Then one places the bottom matzah down, which one isn't going to eat just yet. And then one holds the top one, which is complete, the middle one, which is a half piece or a third piece, and one says the second bracha al achilat matzah. One dishes out from the top one and from the middle one. Everyone eats a kazayas. A kazayas from each one. And then one gives to everyone of one's household matzah to eat. And they eat the 2 of them together, from the 2 matzahs together, while leaning to the left. If it's too difficult to eat the 2 matzahs together, then one first eats from the top matzah, the kazayas from that, followed by a kazayas from the middle matzah, the broken one. Just one should ensure that one doesn't pause at all in between eating these 2 pieces, and one eats the 2 while leaning to the left. And we have the custom in our countries that on the Seder night, on the night of Pesach, we do not dip the matzah into salt, neither the matzah of Hamaitzi nor the matzah at all. Thank you very much for joining us. Good night.